Well, good evening and thank you very much indeed for joining us. You're right on time for Inside Government. And of course, I just want to, this evening, to discuss a very interesting concept that is sweeping the world over. And we're talking about open learning. You see, in 2023, that is in August, Kenya became one of the few African countries to have an open learning university, what we call the Open University of Kenya. It is based outside Nairobi, that is the Konza Technopolis, which is about 65 kilometers outside the city center. And the interesting part of this is that there are about 100 open universities in the world. In Africa, you're talking about less than 15 open universities on the continent. And this concept of open university is growing. And so tonight, we just want to have a look at this concept of open learning. And of course, we're joined by Professor Elijah Omwenga. He's the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Kenya. He'll be taking us through the process and, of course, helping us understand this concept further. Plus more details. Thank you very much indeed, Prof, for joining us.
Thank you.
Since August 2023, we are talking about 2 years now. Help us understand the milestones that you have managed to cover.
Thank you so much, Bwana O'Brien. My name is Elijah Omwenga, the Vice Chancellor of the Open University of Kenya. And I'm so grateful that you gave me this chance to come and discuss with the Africans and especially the Kenyans the concept of open education and the Open University in particular. We were chartered under Section 24(1)(b) of the Universities Act as a specialized university for strategic interest.
Yeah.
And the milestones we've covered specifically to your question is, so far, the university is fully established. We have established, or rather developed, about 26 programs which are on offer. Those are undergraduate, 26 programs which are on offer. They range from undergraduate all the way to PhD programs, including masters and postgraduate. We've also enrolled upwards of 10,000 students.
10,000
yes,
students.
as of today, we have 10,980 students.
From zero in 2023.
Exactly, from zero in 2023, when we opened our doors in January 2024, last year. As of today, we have 10,980 students who have enrolled. Of these, about 4,000 are in the undergraduate programs, and about 500 in the postgraduate diploma, and about 1,800 in the master's and PhD. PhD is about 250 students we have now registered, and they are online learning. Then we have the rest, about 5,000 students who are doing short courses, professional development courses, micro-credentials, which we also call nano certifications, to help the Kenyan population to quickly get on board and the right skills required for the job market.
You talk about strategic interest.
Yes.
What are those?
Thank you so much for that question. The country is growing at a very fast rate, and therefore the youth population is equally growing. And in Kenya right now, we have about 5 million Kenyans who are neither in education, not in training, and not in employment. These youth need to be empowered, the right skills, to be able to be useful in the society. And therefore, the university is addressing that gap of reskilling, retooling the youth in order to enable them be marketable and appropriate for the job market that is growing. Secondly, we recognize that quite a number of Kenyans were not able to take higher education for various reasons in their life, such as distance to the universities, or inability to pay, or time to study. So the university is addressing the issue of inclusivity and not leaving anybody behind. Inclusivity through the concept of university being available where you need it and not you going to the university, so that we utilize technology to empower those who want to learn. The other strategic interest is that of flexibility. We know that some of the Kenyans want to learn while they're earning. So we ensure that the programs are done in such a manner curated so that they stand alone and be able to deliver the learning and the knowledge without necessarily having the students to be available physically for the learning to take place. So we call it asynchronous mode of learning. And therefore the learner will be able to learn at his or her own pace, at his or her own place. We call it University Mkononi. You have the university in your hands. So that concept of flexibility and accessibility is one of the strategic interests that we are focusing on. And also the concept of affordability. You will agree with me that the brick and mortar concept of having the physical infrastructure can be expensive to develop. And therefore we are going outside that brick and mortar infrastructure to enable learning to take place online. So we're using the online tools, well assembled, using the most modern techniques and pedagogical principles that we have put together to deliver online without having the brick and mortar infrastructure. That is sometimes a hindrance to the concept of affordability. So our fees is very affordable, and we have reduced, in line with the government directive which was requiring that fees be rationalized, and we're charging only 79,000 Kenya shillings for a degree program for an entire year. That is about 1/4 of what most of the universities are charging per year. That is at the undergraduate. So those are some of the strategic interests that are within the purview of government interest to make sure that there is a university to address the issue of flexibility, accessibility, inclusivity, affordability, and importantly, quality education.
This form of education is supposed to be online.
Yes.
And so there is no need for the conventional classrooms, as we call them, the brick and mortar kind of classrooms. But yet you have a physical presence at Konza.
Yes.
How is that possible?
Oh, thank you, Brian. And let me qualify the concept of online here very well within the context of our philosophy. Our students, especially the undergraduates, when they finalize their various modules, some of them require that they have attachment. So attachment will be or is scheduled to be a physical experience of the student. I think that needs to be clarified because we require... So
there's still the physical aspect of this?
Yes, they will still have to be attached in a physical space for them to enhance their skills. Yes, our presence in Konza is obviously necessary because the university must do administrative aspects of running the university. We have a fully fledged set of offices required by our very being as a university, offices for the Vice Chancellor, the deputies, the registrars, and administration of all that, and also where we run our examination processes and our infrastructure, the ERP, the LMS, they are all based in Konza, and therefore we have to get our presence there. We have a very strong presence at Konza in order to run as an engine for the infrastructure that we are now offering our students across the globe.
You came from the traditional way of teaching, whereby you had to attend real and physical classes. And then you transition to open learning, where you don't attend to any physical class. How was that transition for you as a lecturer?
Very good. Thank you for that question. We recognize that our staff, very important resource that we have, needs to be empowered to deliver online. And we have developed an online module on how to teach online. So all the lecturers, all our staff who come to deliver for us through either permanent or part-time or adjunct, they are required to go through that mode or that module of how to deliver online. And it is a brief mode of learning which is required by us, that you must go through that and you get a certificate. Secondly, our students also are taken through how to learn online, how to e-learn. So that transition has to be done through training, capacity building and retraining. We don't stop there. We have also developed training of trainers model, where some of our experts, lecturers and staff are able to be there on time, from time to time, to help our new lecturers and students to uptake the concept of open learning. Let me, I think, if you allow, make a difference between, clarify between open learning, online learning, and distance education or distance learning. I think we were discussing just before we started this. Yes, online learning or online delivery is a mode in which we are able to deliver content or learning to those who are enrolled. And this is done using mostly technology, computer technology, which is put together using machines, computers, servers, and learning management system and other tools, ERP, which is enterprise resource planning. So all these tools are put together in a very end-to-end seamless manner to deliver online learning to our students. So it's a mode of delivery. Now, distance learning, and I will give the definition that was there many years ago, was reserved to those who are not able to come to a physical infrastructure, physical classroom, and learn. And therefore, they were given through correspondence, they were sent materials to study, then they come and do an examination in a central place or through other methods. That was a traditional distance education or distance learning that was there. But that has transitioned now to using online infrastructure to deliver distance learning. You can see now where online comes in. And then open learning or open education is more to do with the philosophy of access, which is enhanced through technology, through online learning, flexible mode of delivery. You come when you have the time and you can have kind of suspend your learning and come back later on in a very flexible, seamless manner. It's about affordability, flexibility, the 5 concepts that I mentioned, which define open education, open learning. And this is occasioned by the changing nature of our existence as human beings, that you don't have to travel to learn. You can learn from where you are through a very affordable and high quality mode of delivery.
The Open University of Kenya is a public-owned institution.
Yes.
And when you look at it, it took the government the first step to set up this kind of an institution, despite the fact that education is a constitutional right. Why has it taken the public sector, long time to realize that there is an opportunity in this field?
Oh, thank you for that question. Yes, the history of the Open University of Kenya can be summarized from the time His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, was the Minister for Education. He initiated the establishment of the Open University of Kenya about 12 years ago now. And the process was done but never concluded. But I'm glad to report that through concerted effort and the Technical Working Committee, which was chaired by Professor Team, the university was established eventually in 2003, August 3rd. And that's when we were chartered.
2023.
2023. Then we were given the charter by His Excellency the President. Now, that process culminating into the charter was quite a lengthy one. You can see 12 years it took for us to embrace that concept of open education, open learning. Now, for the public now to uptake these, there is need for sensitization and marketing of the university in terms of the programs that we offer, the flexibility which comes along with this, and all the other concepts and philosophy that come with open education, and one of which is what we're doing right now. We have to sensitize our people that, well, there is a university here that is addressing your needs, 26 programs and counting, all of them available, and over 20 short courses which are available, some of them fully sponsored, and we want as many Kenyans as possible to come and enroll with us. So the university is there to serve the Mwananchi. Some people have called it the Wanjiko University because of our philosophy of inclusivity, right, and affordability. So we want to have as many Kenyans as possible to enroll into this university. Look here, in just 2 years, we have 10,000 students who are onboarded, and 5,000 of which are on short courses, which range between just 3 hours all the way to 3 months. There are courses there. Yes, there are courses there which are giving you very specific concepts that you need for you to operate, especially in the AI space. And we allow you to come in 3 hours or in 1 day. Let's call it 1 day, because the 3 hours can be spread in a flexible manner. So in a day, you already have the skills that you need. And you are tested that, oh yes, you have this very specific tailored skill. But then most of them are 3 months.
3 months.
3 months, you come for ISDL course, for example, or Huawei technology, where we are training people on generative AI, or cybersecurity, data science, and other related, big data analytics and etc. You come in, you enroll, and in 3 months, you have the right skills for you to be marketable out there. We have one program which is sponsored by an Australian institution, BCS, and this program is running. It started on the 15th of, or rather the registration is ending on the 15th of this month. The program is fully sponsored. It's a short course for about 3 months. And the organization which is partnered with us has offered 100 slots of employment immediately after completion.
Wow.
The best top 100 students will be given jobs. And that is a guarantee which we have signed in black and white.
They'll be given job by Australia?
By that Australian company, within and outside the country. Because it's a big institution and very much on the business processing and outsourcing area. And they are recruiting Kenyans because I think we developed or rather we are proven that we can do business while we are right here in our country through our infrastructure, which is quite developed. They also established that our communication is quite what they need. Our ability to communicate effectively to very diverse people around the globe is very much assured, and they're able to train these young Kenyans very quickly in order for them to fit into the online jobs that they are offering. So Kenyans, 100 jobs are out there for you. So join in the BCS course and others which are there, and you are assured of a job.
What is the maximum capacity of students can Open University of Kenya handle?
Very good. Thank you. What I can answer is this way. We have our ERP, and LMS, Learning Management System, which is the infrastructure that delivers the learning to the learners. The infrastructure, online infrastructure that delivers content. And these can handle 20,000 concurrent users.
20,000?
20,000.
At the same time?
At the same time, at the same second. So therefore, if you start from there and you understand that the reflex of a human being to communicate is more than a second, and you can calculate that, how many students you can handle in a second, So it's more than 20,000. So, and if you look at the reflex of accessing technology, it's more than 5 seconds. So you can see we're talking about 1 million and above students that we can handle at the Open University concurrent. Well, as a university, upwards. Right now, with our infrastructure, with our capacity, we can exit up to even 1 million students with the infrastructure we have. However, there is need to have staff who can handle these students.
Yes.
So your question is two-pronged. Our technology is sufficient, is big enough to handle many students, but our human capacity may not grow at that pace. So we have to have staff who will support our students online, who will answer their questions, who will engage them in discussion fora, who will be able to look at their portfolios and mark them and give them grades, and access and help them to access the technology effectively. So those are some of the benchmarks that we must ensure are in place before we can scale. So right now we are talking about about 100,000 students whom we can handle, but that must be increased together with the staff portfolio that we have.
What is the current staffing levels?
Thank you. Right now we have 81 members of staff, of 81. Which about 51 are academic and the rest are administrative, about 30 to 50, 81 total. And about 50 are academics, members of staff. However, we have another 50 or so who are part-time lecturers, or we call them adjunct professors, who come and support our students without necessarily having long-term contracts with us. And these are very valuable resources that we have tapped from across the globe. We have people from different countries in the world who are offering services to us through a part-time model.
So when you talk about having 51 lecturers,
yes, permanent, but another 50 who are...
So that's about 100.
About 100.
About 100.
Yes.
You know, attending to about 11,000 students.
Yes.
So that's a ratio of one lecturer to how many? To about 100.
Yes, but then these lecturers are supported by the administrative staff, technical staff, who are also about, as I've said, about 30. And even the part-time, we continue to increase our part-time as the student numbers grow. So the 50 part-time I've talked about is as maybe last week. Now that we have more students who have enrolled, there would be many. In fact, we were looking at how to increase our part-time staff.
What is the optimal student lecturer student?
Yes. Thank you for that question. It varies, but UNESCO defined 50 to 30. 50. Or 70 to 30. That is 70 academic and 30 administrative. That is for a brick and mortar face-to-face environment. But for us, in the open university space, we can scale. We can scale to several students per lecturer, as long as you have part-time, or rather you have administrative staff, especially ICT staff who are supporting. And also we are engaging in AI technology, where tutors will not necessarily be physical human beings.
They can be robots.
And we are in that already. Yes, we are already there. And we have several technologies that we have put together to help us in terms of first assessing the student learning process and give us reports from time to time. These are processes which we have automated to help us on that. We have chatbots. So chatbots are human toys which help us to carry the student journey along and help that student to be effectively directed to right places to find the materials. We also have some applications which we have invested in to help us track the teaching and learning progress as offered by our lecturers, so that now we want to measure whether lecturers are available for the students. Part-times need to be available to answer questions online, discussion, and guide. We call guided teaching. We don't really offer teaching, We do guided learning processes for the students to have an environment to learn. And that has become very, very effective in terms of the learning concepts that we want to deliver. Let me also mention that the university has invested in virtual laboratories, some of which are already in use, and we are testing them. And this financial year, we are procuring some, which will help us in ensuring that the student concepts are well addressed even as they prepare to go for attachment. Because virtual laboratories is the way to go. The university is digital, and the future is digital. So yes, you can have the physical laboratories, which is quite okay, but for us at the Open University, we are now investing in the virtual laboratories, which are very effective in terms of enabling repetitive experiments to be done at a very minimal cost.
You see, what a lot of people don't realize is that, open learning, is an old concept. I mean, it has been around for more than 100 years. It started in the UK in the 1880s.
Yes.
The fever is catching up here in Kenya. Are you looking at a situation whereby in the next 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years, that open learning will overtake the traditional mode of education?
Thank you for that question. Yes, the Open University of UK is one of the oldest universities we have in the world, others, Unison and others. There are basically two modes of learning. There is the single mode and the dual mode. The dual mode is where you have a university which is both offering brick and mortar and then hybrid, and then they have the e-learning or online learning mode. So we call that the dual mode. The Open University of Kenya, it is single mode. We are not having the brick and mortar. Yes, if you look at the flexible mode of engagement that people want to have in life, generally, people want to multitask. They want to do things while they are doing others. They want to learn while they are doing other things. You want our mothers and our sisters to be able to be at home whenever they are preparing for the family meal, while in a short while they're able to go and learn. So that flexibility is what people want. And that is supported and accelerated by two things. Technology and artificial intelligence, so to speak. Because with AI, now you can create very good learning materials. We call them learning objects or assets, which can be delivered through the infrastructure that we have invested in this country. For example, our fiber technology is growing, and therefore taking advantage of these things, I see open learning growing in the near future. And I also see most of the brick and mortar universities embracing the concept of online learning and perhaps getting into the dual mode from the single mode that they are, in order to address the diverse needs of their clientele. So I see a shift in the next few years, accelerated by technology, AI, and other generative tools that exist.
If you're in a position of policy making and policy influence, of course you are now, by the virtue that you're the Vice Chancellor of Open University of Kenya, and you have a situation whereby, universities in Kenya, they own huge chunks of land in this country. What would you advise them to do with these huge tracts of land that they own, which they were hoping that in the future they are going to establish their satellite campuses?
Yes, thank you. Well, I may not be competent to comment on that, but for me, where I sit, I think fiscal compasses will still be necessary. It will still need to invest in the brick and mortar, because certain courses will require that students have a fiscal presence, and therefore I would really not talk about a policy shift here, but just comment that we'll still require fiscal compasses in the foreseeable future. And again, the law has established the Open University of Kenya as a strategic interest, and therefore I believe that in that space the Open University of Kenya should continue to play its role without necessarily occasioning many others to want to do the same thing that we are doing, but it doesn't stop any university from getting into this dual mode of learning at the higher levels.
Very good.
Thank you.
Prof, we're taking a short break.
Yes.
So that we can come back and discuss more. I mean, if you're just joining us, we're in the company of Professor Elijah Omwenda. He's the Vice Chancellor of Open University of Kenya. He was telling me that he's going to be on this stage, oozing wisdom carelessly, and I can confirm that he's doing that. We're taking our first break. We are coming back with more. Stay right here.
What happens when the wisdom of yesterday meets the dream? When our elders share their journey and the youth bring their vision of tomorrow. This is Transgenerational Conversation, a powerful town hall where generations sit side by side to listen, to challenge, and to learn from each other.
I feel like the answers are with us.
If we listen to the issues and act upon them, I'm sure that the next time you're sitting on a transgenerational conversation, you guys will be discussing different things.
From timeless values to modern ideas, from lessons of the past to solutions for the future. Transgenerational conversation. Real voices, real issues, real change. Join the conversation this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. live from Kenya Methodist University, Nairobi Town. Night Dialogue and shape Kenya's tomorrow. Only on KBC Channel 1 in conjunction with NCIC, Korea International Cooperation Agency, and UNDP.
At the heart of Kenya's transport infrastructure is the Mechanical and Transport Directorate, MTD, under the Ministry of Roads and Transport. We oversee a network of services spread across 24 strategic regions, ensuring efficiency in plant and transport services nationwide, from road construction and maintenance to the provision of specialized equipment to manufacturing services. We support infrastructural development across the country. We carry out inspection and valuation of government vehicles, plant and equipment in view of pre-delivery, repair and maintenance and disposal. We also inspect second-hand imported motor vehicles for roadworthiness as per KEBS KS 1515 and conduct occupational tests for drivers and operators. For more information, visit mtd.go.ke or call 0718 976 445. The Mechanical and Transport Directorate, Quality Mechanical and Plant Services.
Welcome back. You're watching Inside the Government. We are live from our national headquarters here at Broadcasting House. O'Brien Kimani is my name. And tonight we are conversing around the Open University of Kenya. And of course, we are looking at the open learning concept. I mean, the Open University of Kenya, received its official charter back in 2023. And we're in the company of Professor Elijah Omwenga. He's the Vice Chancellor of OUK. And he's telling me that so far they have managed to enroll almost 11,000 students. That is within a span of 2 years. So we're talking about more than 5,000 students every year. That is what we call phenomenal growth. The first hour is down. Time now for the second hour. Before we went for the break, we were looking at the future of, conventional education. And you said that until the foreseeable future, we're still going to have, both, the physical mode of learning and the open university way of learning. But I just want to hear this from you, and I was going through some statistics that were prepared by the Kenya Institute of Public Policy Analysis, and they were saying that, when we are comparing the cost of programs in a number of universities from UON, Masinde Muliro, Maseno, they discovered that the cost of per program, like for example, information science, it is 50% lower at Open University compared to, let's say, Nairobi University, which was the most expensive. And so when you look at the cost flexibility of open learning, is this a concept that you'd urge the government to employ by opening more open learning institutions?
Thank you for that question. There is an earlier question you asked about our capacity. I will relate that question to the one you've just asked now. The capacity of the Open University of Kenya is quite big for every program. All we need is to employ, as we scale up, more lecturers, even at part-time level, and support staff to help in the process of learning. So the university can scale to any level, depending on how we also grow our human capacity and invest in other subsidiary technologies such as virtual laboratories and internship programs. So for now, I still believe that the Open University should be able to cater for that particular need.
The population.
Because as I already mentioned to you during the break, that the Open University of China has 4.5 million students.
Just one university?
One university. The Indira Gandhi National Open University has over
That is in India?
In India, has over 3.1 million students.
3.1
million
that is just
students. They put in 1 million students every year. About 800,000 students every year. I've been there and I saw the numbers come in real time. The Open University of Nigeria, we are talking, they boast about 200,000 students. The Open Universities of UNISA, they talk about 300,000 students. And Mauritius, which is recently established, there are about 40,000 students. In other words, the open universities around the world are supposed to help in massification of education within a short period of time and address that gap which could exist where you want to train for the market and you're not able to do it at the required pace. One may argue that the job market is already flooded with certain cadres of students who graduate, but on the other hand, we are saying the job market is requiring certain cadres of trained graduates, and that's where the Open University comes in. We do tailored training. And I mentioned earlier on the micro-credentials that we are implementing, where students take modules that scale up to give you a degree. And we have what you call a credit bank. You come, you enroll on modules, which gives you some skills that you can start applying even before you graduate. And when you stack these micro-credentials or modules, then you're able to say you've done first year, then other modules you do a second year, and all the way until the fourth year. So we are doing just on time, tailored kind of training for the job market on specialized programs, on entrepreneurial skills that we need to offer our students in order to fit the job market. But on the other hand also, we will say we are training for the world. We have listed students from 70 different countries.
Around the world.
Around the world. I gave you the statistics just a short while ago. From 70 different countries, we have students who have enrolled. And of these, we are talking about 590 of those students, 590 counting, who have come on board from 70 different countries. So we are a university for the world, besides training for our local situation here. Yes.
So about 2% of your students are from outside this nation.
Yes, if you look at that,
if you
the statistics.
Yes.
And we are trying to have more.
And still talking about statistics, when you look at the Kenyan educational system, you have about 1 million students graduating from high school every year. Universities will absorb about 280 to 250,000.
Yes.
And so you still have more than 700,000 students who do not get placement in institutions of higher learning. Is open learning a panacea to this problem?
Thank you for that question. Yes, of the about 1 million, about 250 go to universities, and another about quite a big number go to TVETs, which are polytechnics, and all the way to the ward TVETs. And therefore the absorption is quite good at that particular level. But the others should come to the Open University, where we have a recognition of prior learning as part of our admission criteria. And at the Open University, we don't discriminate in all aspects what grade you acquired, as long as you demonstrate one of the 7 criteria for admission. That is, you should have a C+, which is okay from your KCSE, or you have a diploma or a short course lasting about 3-4 months, which is relevant to the degree program that you are coming on board, or experience at the job market, which is relevant to the degree program that you are coming for, or a work employment experience, which is also relevant to the degree program that you are joining. So we have 7 different admission criteria, one of which is the fresh graduates through the C+, and if you didn't get a C+, and you have some experience, which lasting up this number of months or years,
meaning that you didn't go to high school.
Once you have your C+, or once you have your KCSE, and you have these other admission criteria fulfilled, we admit you.
All right.
That is as approved by the Commission for University Education as part of the philosophy of open learning. We do not stop anybody from coming on board as long as you have the right attitude and you can prove that you have the capability of going through the rigors of the program that you are joining. Yes, that's what makes a very big difference between the Open University and all the other universities.
This is what we call the democratization of education.
Absolutely.
Whereby it can be accessed by everyone.
Exactly.
Help us understand this. I mean, so in terms of when you look at the overheads cost of managing a physical university vis-a-vis an online or an open university kind of a model, what are the variances?
In terms of?
Overhead cost, like, the cost of running a physical university vis-a-vis the cost of running an open.
Yeah, the overhead. So thank you for that question. Obviously, the Open University or the Open University of Kenya will have less overheads than the brick and mortar, because in the classical brick and mortar face-to-face, you need to pay for the physical space. First of all, you build the infrastructure.
Yeah.
The classrooms, the laboratories, the very many offices for all those things that you need. So that's a very big investment, capital investment that you must put in place before you establish a university. So the Open University does not need that. We'll just need space for administrative purposes.
Yeah.
The second very important aspect is the services that you must put in place in those infrastructure that you put on place, such as electricity, water, and other sanitary aspects that you must provide in a physical setup. So we don't have to do that because our students are having those things at their homes. Okay, so the cost is generally now pushed to the student,
to the students,
because he or she has to use those things, but wherever you are is where you need to use them.
Yeah.
The third overhead is to do with the traveling. When you're online, we have capacitated our lecturers to offer training or the support they need from their various places where they are. Exactly. So therefore, the overheads of transport is kind of reduced, but we require them once in a while, maybe once a week fiscally, in order to bond. So that's another area that is a bit saving.
And so there comes the question, the faculty at, as an open learning institution, are they paid the same with their counterparts in physical learning systems?
Actually, they need to be paid more.
They need to be paid more.
Yes.
Despite the fact that they're not spending anything.
Yes, well, because that's a small component of the whole thing. You can imagine in an open university, the students are available for you 24/7 because we are enrolled from different countries where the sun sets in different times. They come in at their own pace and the student is asking a question. The other day we had an experience from Washington where one of our staff...
Washington, D.C.
Yes, one of our students was having a meeting there and the examination was going on. And he had to wake up in order to do the exam. This time we required that they all do it at the same time, although we have now segregated different time zones. And therefore the lecturer had to be available to make sure that the student is able to do the exam alongside the time zones.
And Washington, D.C. is 8 hours behind.
Yes, because he didn't make it with the others, and therefore he had to do it at some time. And you see, that is now flexible, which must be supported by availability of our staff at different times. Secondly, the staff must be available within a short period of time, which we have set in our service delivery charter, to discuss issues to do with learning with these students in a very flexible manner. For instance, we have students going through these materials at 8 p.m. and they're asking questions. So the lecturer has to log in and find out what are the issues that he or she must sort out. You can't wait until tomorrow. Then we'll be earning a very bad name that these staff are not available for us. Actually, students have been very happy with this very just-on-time interventions from our staff. So essentially, we do a lot more, and if you ask any of our lecturers, they will tell you that the online mode of delivery is quite challenging and time-consuming.
Is it because it's a new concept here in Kenya?
Not at all. It is well over. And that's why I mentioned earlier on that every lecturer needs to be supported by a technical team that will be available to help in the whole mechanics of online education offering. Yes.
Help us understand these, and this is for the people who are watching this program and they're asking themselves, so I am interested, I am qualified, what do I do next?
Very well. Thank you. If you're interested and you're qualified, we invite you to get into the ouk.ac.ke website. Our website is available and all the programs we offer are on the website, both the undergraduate, postgraduate, master's and PhD. You register online and you start learning as soon as you're admitted. We evaluate your credentials within a very short period of time and we give you feedback through the email address or the phone that you give us. So I'm inviting the Kenyans and the entire world watching this program, please get into ouk.ac.ke If you're IT savvy, you can have the entire URL, https:// But just saying ouk.ac.ke will resolve to the website of the Open University, and there you will be having all the programs available for you to sample through and choose what you want, both the short courses and the programs that we are giving.
Very well. As we come to the close of this conversation, Prof, I mean, you went through the physical learning process.
Yes.
Before you joined the Open University of Kenya, you are working in a physical institution. Do you miss that human touch, the human bond between lecturers, teachers, and students?
Thank you for that good question. If you look at my CV, over the years I've been in the e-learning space. My master's was on e-learning, how to empower learners to use technology effectively. My PhD...
But you did that in a physical...
Well, I did that in a physical, but you have to do it in somewhere in order for you to learn something. And my PhD was in the same area, and I developed an e-learning management system, by the way, that was used at the University of Nairobi for 10 record years. It was the de facto learning management system that was used there, and several other African universities. So I'm quite conversant with the e-learning and online learning space. Now, yes, I was in the physical environment. Now I'm in we're offering through the online mode of delivery. Well, you see, we are solving a problem. We are dealing with a situation which has been confronted to us by the Kenyans, that please, we want to learn while we are working. We want a flexible mode of delivery. We want quality education. We want affordable learning. We want education that you can access anytime, anywhere, in a flexible manner. So we are so proud on what we are doing. In fact, we feel so privileged that we've been given this opportunity to deal with this space that was already there for a long time, the issue of inclusivity and such. So we feel that is an honor that has been given to us to establish the Open University of Kenya and offer education through the online mode of delivery. So to us, it's a compliment and not really a complaint or missing anything. In any case, we go back to our families, we come and have an interview like this one in a face-to-face manner, and the life of interaction with our human beings continues.
Very good. So it doesn't have any impact on you, on your physical association with your fellow human beings?
Well, where we work, we work in a very collegiate environment at the Concert Technopolis. We are 81 strong people there physically, and we every day we are interacting among ourselves by very nature of the administration that we must deliver on, and also our students, they are interacting with their peers, both online and in various clubs that we have helped them to join. And some of them do come in groups to come and interact with us and find out what they can do for us. The alumni that we are creating is a very strong one. Each of the 78 students, by the way, we graduated students last year, 78 of them in the postgraduate diploma, 2 postgraduate diplomas that we are offering. And the 78 students who are our flagship bearers, they are forever interacting with us all the time. They want to know what can they do for us. About 3-4 months ago, the entire team came to the Open University to find out what areas they can build in order to empower our visibility out there. And we continue to rally behind them as they help us to build the visibility that we need. So physical space is important, yes, but we are doing this for the purpose of empowering the Kenyans with the right tools in terms of skills, the knowledge, to market them out there.
So from where you stand,
yes,
open learning is the way.
Open education, open learning is the way, is the future. Digital education, which we are offering right now, is the future. The university of the future is digital.
It's digital.
Yes.
What you
go to ouk.ac.ke and get the degree or the certificate program that you want.
Very good. And it's good to remind people that the Open University of Kenya is a state-owned institution.
Yes, it's a public chartered
and so even students there, they
university.
qualify for help.
Oh yes, they do. They do. They come in, and of course there are certain criteria which is applied, and they all qualify for those. Yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Prof, asante sana for joining us this evening, and of course for oozing the knowledge and the wisdom in the open education form of system. Your time is highly appreciated. We'll continue to engage with you even in the future.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I want to thank the Kenyans who have listened, and I encourage them to join the Open University, the university where you learn while you earn.
Very good. Professor Elijah Omwenga is the Vice-Chancellor at the Open University of Kenya, joining us tonight. Remember, the institution is based inside the Konza Technopolis, which is about 65 kilometers outside Nairobi. Well, this is the kind of content that we have here on Inside Government. My name is O'Brien Kim, and remember the prime time edition is coming up next. Stay right here. We'll see you again on Thursday next week. Until then, have a good night.
Attention all journalists in Kenya. The Media Council of Kenya, MCK, is calling you to apply or renew your 2025 press card now. It's fast and easy. Just log on to your online portal at www.mediacouncil.or.ke. For more information, email us at accreditation@mediacouncil.or.ke or call 0110-131-447 or visit us at Britam Center, Nairobi, or our Mombasa, Meru, Nakuru, and Kisumu offices. You can report violations or press freedom issues by calling us on 0702-222-111. Stay legit. Carry your press card on duty. Always ready, always professional. MCK, promoting press freedom and